The age of VR is coming upon us, but with that, we forget a few negative associations with VR, namely puking. Oculus founder Palmer Luckey recently talked about these side effects. There's a barfing dinosaur in my shop about how these actually happen and what they actually are. Let's take a look at the first one. One of these is changes in velocity. Moving at speed actually doesn't make people sick once you're moving and at equilibrium. That's fine. The issue is constant deceleration and acceleration. It's actually the duration of that change rather than the magnitude that makes people change.
Change meaning lose their lunch.
Barf.
Means make their insides outsides.
I mean, it happens. I mean, I've definitely gotten sick a little bit doing VR. You go, the movement doesn't really match up at this point. A lot of the time, it's gotten good.
It's still early stages.
We're not like G Gundam status yet.
No, not at all.
Quite.
But yeah, it's very interesting to see also what even without virtual reality, how the human body deals with that equilibrium change just on roller coasters, and how maybe something like what is it like Disneyland, like California Screamin' going up and over in that big roller coaster. Some people that's fine, but then some people on Star Tours are like,
No.
I will vomit. I will vomit.
I am the poster child of motion sickness. I can't do it. Any ride, it's just like, does it? Yeah, no, not doing it. Like I'm so bad, I can't go on anything. I can't even go to Harry Potter World and go on the Hogwarts ride, which is like
No.
heart-hurting.
That ride is the barf machine.
I know, I've heard.
Is it?
Yeah.
I felt so sick after.
Yeah.
And I'm usually fine.
No.
Is it part like a projection?
It's 3D and also.
Oh my God! Okay.
It's a mixture of things.
Yeah,
it's maybe a combination we're not ready
Spoilers.
for. Even with the velocity.
There's wizards in it.
We've talked about it before. It's okay.
Okay.
There's another trigger, which is something that's more related to maybe current video games, which is the way the camera is controlled. Taking control of the camera in ways that don't match with their vestibular system, especially very strong motions, is something you can't do. In a lot of non-virtual reality games, you can grab the camera and point it at something you want the player to see. You can't really do that in virtual reality. It's not so great. So
Vestibular.
Yeah, my vestibular system is very particular.
I have a very
this is
subpar
something
vestibular system.
that Palmer Luckey has thought about before as the founder of Oculus. But I mean, I agree. I'll even watch certain Let's Plays, including my own, where I start to feel a little sick because of the way the camera is being controlled or not controlled by the gamer. And it's definitely still a problem.
I wonder if that's also, like with the vestibular systems, how, like, like if you're driving and you're on a windy road, you don't get sick. But if you're in the passenger seat and you're just driving on the freeway and it's normal, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
But it's something about controlling that point of view.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like when I play video games, first person, third person, doesn't matter. I never get sick. But if I'm sitting in a car with somebody else who's driving, I'm like, I'm gonna die. Everything's gonna come out. It's just gonna be terrible. So it's that weird thing. It's like, yeah, for me at least personally, like when I'm driving or when I have control of what's happening, I don't have to worry about it. But as soon as I don't, and as soon as someone else swings a camera around, I'm like, oh, nope, done.
I mean, we all have our own sensibilities and sensitivities, and if it's someone else's, how they feel, it's probably not going to work. One size does not fit all, and right now with VR, it's basically moving in one way only. The last one is something that makes a lot of sense, because I could do it to you now, and you would be sick. Spinning! Things like spinning the horizon line or doing a barrel roll when you're not actually getting the matching vestibular, there's your word, input, even if you did, that's something that makes a lot of people feel pretty sick in the real world. So there's no silver bullet to solve things like that. So let's say your vision says you're spinning. It's telling your brain you're spinning, but your inner ear doesn't say you're spinning. You're going to get real sick.
You're real sick.
It's going to get real bad.
Which is a little bit different than what I said at the top. Like, I could spin around now and feel sick. So that is my inner ear also.
Yeah.
Feeling sick. So these are things that we need to work out, or not we. The industry needs to work out.
Into this.
Get to work now, Alex.
Okay. I don't know what I was
like, what was that?
Within
It's
arm's
like,
reach.
I can't
the
do it.
happiest face hugger in the world.
Suicide for me again. But yeah, it's. I mean, there are bumps. We're still entering the phase where VR becomes, I would say, more widely used. We're not quite there yet. It does depend a lot on the entry level stuff, like Samsung and HTC, and maybe not the more high end stuff to begin with.
And there's that weird middle ground as well for the where you have your phones and you can look in every direction as well. Where it's that full.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is, you can escape that, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
when
you can just go, oh,
you
hey,
have
look
a
at
helmet
this.
strapped on, it's like, this is my life now. I'm gonna barf.
Which, like,
Especially-
the idea of it, I want it to be, I want it so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have an immersive video game where I can just play and be that character. And, like, that sounds like an
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
thing to do, like, a Sword Art Online thing. Like, I just, like, my dream.
Well, except we don't want to
But-
get trapped and murdered.
That's not the point. But I'm not going to do it if I'm going to be like, oh, this is great. Like, it just doesn't sound
Every
fun.
5 minutes, you're like, oh, hold on.
We still have that division between two worlds, and I think we've all seen videos where there's a man where he's wearing a VR headset.
Yeah.
And he's like pawing at the floor because there's a hatch in his game, but then he just bangs his head.
Yes, yes.
We have a video of me almost punching a hole through a monitor because I'm wearing a VR helmet, and I think it's like, oh, I'm fighting crime, but I'm breaking electronics.
Like I said, I've seen that video of a guy who's like got the VR headset on, but then he's got that like treadmill thing and like the
every
guardrail so
direction,
that
yeah.
he can't.
Omnidirectional
which is,
treadmill.
That's great.
Omnidirectional
That's cool.
treadmill, yeah.
Like that sounds like a lot of fun. And then you just give yourself a wide berth, at least.
Well, and then there's the one
wingspan-wise.
as well where they actually they
something
rig
when
you
you-
up in a harness, so it is because you're flying. But as you tilt your head and stuff, that's how you. It's kind of like Rocketeer controls.
Now we even have
Yeah.
roller coaster experiences involving VR headsets.
Oh hell no!
Oh, it's happening.
Hell, not,
Six Flags
not,
is doing it.
Oh, Six
Oh,
Flags.
Six Flags.
So
So many
it's
thoughts.
something that's quickly emerging as something, a technology we can use for entertainment in many different ways, but there are still many problems to talk about, especially if the founder of Oculus, one of the largest groups working in this industry, has something to say about it. Audience, have you tried VR yet? And have you puked? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.